Said the best part of every Sunday service was the time being there before the service started.
That's
which is what we have right
silence.
now. This was his best moment.
And it's just seeing everybody and just loving everybody and coming together on one accord. So that's the wonderful part. I thought, well, maybe we could just go ahead and light the chalice. That seems right. And Brenda is going to light the chalice for us today.
Prelude.
May the light that is now kindled inspire each one of us to use our innate powers to heal, to help, and to bless one another. A few weeks ago, Reverend Dave read to us a modern version of the 23rd Psalm that was written by some nuns, I think out of Massachusetts, wasn't it, Dave? Out of Massachusetts or Connecticut?
Nunnery in Maryland.
Oh, in Maryland, okay, in Maryland. But it was fantastic, and I always like modern versions in modern languages. It seems more appropriate for the time and the day that we're in. And so what is hopefully coming up, and it will, is a modern version of the Lord's Prayer. And this is being sung by Reverend Erin MaCabe. She was a classmate of mine, and in the second year of ministerial school, there were 6 women, and Erin was one of them and me, that was living in what we call the Goddess House. We lived right on the grounds of Unity Village. She has gone on now. We knew that she was an old soul. She was with a lot of older people that were going through ministerial school at an older age, but she was the young one. And so she is now the minister, the head minister at Unity Village. I hope, anyway, when we get it up, that her singing and her last part of her song will cover your faith-based faith. And if it doesn't, we know that we are one that whatever your faith is, you're welcome here. So it looks like it's coming up.
Give me this day my daily bread. Forgive me all my trespasses, and lead me not into dismay. Let me pray upon the highest hill. Let me know the beauty of thy will, and from it let me not stray, but deliver me from negativity. Baptize me in your majesty. Christen me with the love that is free. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. When I realize that we are one, and only with these eyes do I see. Thy word is heard from mountains high, and valleys low through summer skies, and lands of war and lands where there is peace. Te te mahuta ne kadeshima tule hewa hela wateshbuta. From from Catholic saints to Hindu names, Buddhist chants through Zen refrains. Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free. Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free. Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free. Baruch Adonai, Om Shanti El Shaddai, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
And that we have a moment of centering silence. I'm glad that you left this there, and I'm going to do like the 4 directions then. It was at the starting of Lent that Reverend Dale was speaking, and she was talking about 40 days of Lent, and she talked about feasting on wonderful things like joy and happiness and peace, and having that famine, giving up chocolate, you know, we talked about that, but giving up things like anger and negativity and such. And I just thought, she is the Lent person. She is definitely the Lent person. And she's going to read today from a book that I got, 40 Days of Letting Go.
This is entitled The Process of Denying the Power. Whether we realize it or not, we are often stuck in old stories that have deep power over us. Many of these stories keep us in the terrible twos: too old, too unattractive, too broken, too ashamed, too unworthy. And we don't believe life can change. Based on these old beliefs, we interpret, respond, and make decisions in present time. In John 5, when Jesus is at the pool of Bethsaida with a paralyzed man, Jesus asks, "Do you want to be made well?" The man has a list of reasons why he has not been healed over the years. Jesus simply tells him, "Stand up, take your mat, and walk." When the man is ready to deny the power of his old stories of lack and limitation, he takes the first step. Do you have faith to step into a new story of your divine identity? Here again, the reading. Jesus said to him, "Stand up, take your mat, and walk." At once the man was made well, and he took up his mat and began to walk. John 5, 8-9. Let us affirm, I am ready to boldly step into my divine identity.
She always does Lent reading so well. And are you ready now to step into your new identity, your new spiritual identity, and let go of all of your old stories and be healed at death? Reverend Dave is going to be leading us today in our song. It's number 121, We'll Build the Bridge. Stand as you're able, but you may sit, and we'll build the land.
Bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, made and free and peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, made and created peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land building our ancient cities, raising the devastations from old, restoring ruins of generations. Oh, we'll build a land of people so bold. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, made and created peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come build a land where the mantles of praises resound from the spirits, once faint and once weak, where like bones of righteousness stand her people. Oh, come build a land, my people we seek. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, made and created peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
We sing one song that's here. It's time to light our candles of joy and concern. I know that there's always a lot of concerns going on in the world, but today I light this candle for joy. Joy really for my being, and also for the privilege of being able to stand here and speak today. This would have been this is my great-grandmother's paternal, on my paternal side, her birthday. She would have been very old by now, but her name was Kanigunda. And I just love that name. And also I light it in memory of my mother, my biological mother, Martha Marie. And I always think of us as Mary and Martha. And so I just am so grateful for my journey and my path of knowing what I'm here to do, what I'm here to do at this time. There's been other things that I've done, but right now, in this part of my lifetime, as I go toward that door that leads us to the great beyond, that I'm here to really heal ancestral traumas. So I just like that for joy today.
This is a candle of continued love and concern for my family in Tucson, and it is also a candle of love and gratefulness for another family member.
For several people I know have had deaths in the family recently, and it's just for them.
This is a candle for happiness. It's maple syrup time. May life get a little sweeter.
Reconnecting with an old friend, and it's been very nice. It's the sun. I missed it. It's coming back. Very encouraged by that.
Hello.
Joshua, also, this is coming back.
I love you. My comfort blanket right here. There we go.
It symbols a couple things. I found out what was wrong with my dog. The Burt's Bees, natural for dogs, there's something in it he's allergic to. That's why he was acting the way he was. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday. I don't see much of her. She lives in Limestone, I live here in Houghton. Kind of distance things. And there's another reason why I don't see her. He shall remain nameless. And I thank my friends, my family, that actually are my friends, because that's all the family I have are my friends. So they get me through the rough times, and so does my boyfriend. He lets me cry on his shoulder when I need to. Even though sometimes he seems like it's pointless to cry, but I need to. I'm just an emotional person, and he needs to deal with it.
I'm not a monster.
2 weeks ago I lit a candle for Frank. That was in concern for him. Now it's in his memory. He's now resting peacefully. And I'll also mention that I took a trip down to New York by car. And I just have to say that the trip north was so much more beautiful than the trip south. As you're going from green Maine, you just go from grass and trees and green to concrete. And when you're leaving the concrete, it's wonderful.
And speaking of that, Karen, people noticed the river downtown Holton. The ice is opening up, water is flowing. It's early. It's very early for ice out in Holton. But the sap is running early, as well as the waters. It's good being in Maine.
A silent candle for prayers in your heart for people. If there's any names that you'd like to speak, we'll hold them in the light.
Fred and me.
Lucas.
So, by the light of the candle, we hold all of these joys and concerns in the light, knowing that all is well, all is truly well. Our group reading today, we're going to be reading in unison. It's number 462. Together, I shall take my voice wherever there are those who want to hear the melody of freedom, or the words that might inspire hope and courage in the face of despair and fear. My weapons are peaceful, for it is only by peace that peace can be attained. The song of freedom must prevail. There, that's worth it, huh? That's worth it.
Together
going here, I just want to bless these tithes and these offerings. And I know that we can bless also the giver and the gift. And these go out to do a mighty, mighty work in our church, in our community, and ultimately in the world. Thank you. Now, I'm going to hear, I Believe This Belongs to You. And this is a very important song. This is like leading into the message. During COVID, what Marion and I did was listen to their home videos on Sunday. And this is beautiful. I believe this belongs to you.
I believe this belongs to you. I once heard a powerful story about a man who stood in his truth, with such conviction in who he was, he would not be moved. Someone stepped out of a crowd and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And the well-dressed man spit on him, then came, took out his handkerchief and wiped the paint from his suit. He gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. See your heart and I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear who's standing here. I believe this belongs to you." I once had a powerful story I used to carry around. I thought it was him all this time, held my spirit down. But now I know the truth, who I came here to be. You are my angel in disguise, not my enemy. So I thank you for the part you've played in this dance we've had to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe it belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I know your heart and I can feel your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I give you back your freedom now. I believe it belongs to you. Sing with us. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I know your heart and I see your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear I believe it belongs to you.
Powerful, powerful words, powerful song. Boy, that was an amazing spiritual feat of Martin Luther King, if that story is true, and I tend to believe it's true that somebody did spit on him, and for him to be in such spiritual consciousness that he was able to just wipe off that spit and say those words to the person. I don't think I could do it. How about you? I'd probably be so mad. Yeah. Well, maybe in our lives we haven't been spit on like that. But what about hateful words that have ever come to us, or in an argument? Maybe even with your spouse. Maybe, some hateful things might have been said. Oh, how do you react in that? Do you hold your spiritual consciousness? Or can you be like Martin Luther King and say, I'm going to wipe this away, and I believe these hateful words belong to you? I'm not going to take it into my body. I know that some very sensitive people, and we had somebody say, I'm very sensitive and emotional, they tend to take things into their body instead of releasing them. But isn't it wonderful that we can say, hey, I'm going to give you back this energy that you're sending. And Reverend Dale read about old stories. We talked about old stories. Have you ever held on to an old story over and over and over that happened a long time ago? Maybe a divorce. Gosh, what else? All kinds of things that have happened. A falling out with a friend. There's all kinds of old stories that we carry around in our mind. And recently, I have to say, I had an incident with a family member. It's been over several years now. This is my cousin, and I can be forgiving too with some things that have been said because, bottom line, he's an alcoholic. And so I've been to Al-Anon, and so I'm trying to set up those boundaries and everything and let him know that, hey, I don't particularly like him breaking the boundary when he calls me when he's been drinking a little bit too much, because then he just kind of goes stupid. So I can forgive him for the words that are coming. So this is a story I was carrying around, a lot of things, and then also in the family system and so forth. So I thought about that, and I thought about recently he called me and said something that just really ticked me off so badly. And I was ruminating for days, and I was picking up this old story to carry around, and he's always like that. Oh my gosh, and he did this and he did that and so forth. So I thought, how do I go about overcoming this? How do I go about overcoming this? This is not what I want. I don't want this in my consciousness. I want to be loving and kind. And it was in my mind, it was in my body, and in my spirit. It had affected me spiritually, so I know that it was something that I wanted to get rid of right away and give back. You see, there is a definite connection between your body, your mind, and your spirit. They each have neurotransmitters that go back to your brain. I wish Bill was here. If he listens, Bill, this is for you. I'm hearing that there are these transmitters, these neurons that carry back to your brain. So it is permeating everything, my mind, my body, my spirit. And I tried everything. I tried meditation. Get quiet, get quiet. Oh, couldn't get that monkey mind going out of my mind, Still ruminating. I tried prayer. I tried chanting. That didn't work either. Nothing worked. But finally, I turned to one of my favorite books, and that is written by Wendy DeRosa, and it's called Becoming an Empowered Empath: How to Clear Energy, Set Boundaries, and Embody Your Intuition. And on page 170 172, it had these words to say about handling projection, because that's what things were directed and projecting, and then I was projecting out. When someone projects their anger, their blame, or shame energy toward you, or you sense their unhealed energy coming in your direction, engage in your grounding cord, and that's what the title of the talk is. And on the front of the bulletin, this is your grounding cord, according to Wendy. It is being grounded. See, we're body, mind, and spirit, and this grounding cord connects us with Mother Earth, Mother, Father, God, Mother down here. So engage that grounding cord. Ground yourself. Stay grounded. Go, where am I right now? What's going on in my life? And visualize a shield of light in front of you. And remove yourself, if you have to, from the interaction. And then you send the person's energy back to them. Say these words out loud or to yourself. This is not my energy. I'm giving it back to you. I pray that God, the divine, surrounds you right now. And I ask angels to surround me too in loving protection. So it's really just like the song that Jan sang. You know, I'm going to give it back to you, but I'm going to help you out. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to lift you up. I'm going to lift myself up. And I thought, well, the only way that I know how to do that now in these times and spaces, because, you know, I've tried everything in the old way, was really to begin chakra meditations, which I've been doing. And that was the only thing that cleared me. Now, we learned a few weeks ago about the heart connection. And the heart has a brain, and we talked about heart math. I want to say that, I've been on that website, and Cindy gave me a book about heart math by the original founder. And I've been on there so much that they offered me a plan that I could buy this little heart monitor thing that I've been talking about, and it will put you at the C when you're in coherence. So it should be here in 2 weeks, Dave. We talked about that. Yeah. So I'll be able to show everybody that in a few weeks. So we know that the heart is very important. But also, Reverend Dale said, I hope you do talk about the chakras. I really want to learn more. And we had this on the bulletin before. But I just wanted to share with you about the chakras. And the first chakra down here, and I'm a little bit of a kinesthetic learner and trying to be a good listener, and also I need to read. There's 3 ways of learning. But the first one is down here at the base of your tailbone, and this is called the root chakra. And this is what you use to ground yourself with. Now, if in the past you have not felt safe and you've lost trust, this chakra could be blocked. And for example, I have to say for me personally, I didn't grow up in an alcoholic home, but I had alcoholic mother and stepfather that I visited on weekends. So I was around the alcoholism. Thank God it wasn't in my life, 24/7. But that could be a lot of not feeling safe in an alcoholic home, for just an example. So then you just meditate on that. And then that to me is Mother Earth, and then up here is Father Sky. Or this is your humanness, your human nature, and this is the divine. We're both human and divine in this lifetime. So you have to reach both of those modalities. The second chakra then, as you look there, it is about, it's on up here, just a little bit up here in this area, and it's about your sexuality. It's about creativity. It's about various things here. But for example, if you had an occasion where you were sexually molested or sexually abused, or even abused emotionally or physically, this could bring up a blockage here in this area of your body, or a rape also. So it's really anything in that sexual area. And just think about it, that's where especially the female organs are right there too, of the sexual organs, and the males. So then we go up here to the third chakra, and this is about, this is in your solar plexus, and it goes from the navel up to your diaphragm. And this is about being who you truly are in the world. Being who you truly are. And this brings forth a story that I'd like to share with you about, I know this was so terribly blocked. For a long time now it's been blocked. But when I had my church in Florida, I had a patriarch and matriarch. And toward the end of it, when I was getting ready to retire, right before that, maybe a couple of years, my matriarch passed, which was really hard for that to happen. But there was a patriarch, and he was of the Eckankar faith. But he came to meditation every Wednesday. And so they listened to Hugh. They sung the word Hugh. I was used to oming. But they did this Hugh thing, and he would tell me, oh, Mary, there's worlds on top of worlds on top of worlds. And so I'm just thinking back. And they were always at meditation, he and his wife. And he would say, I am is the most important words. I am. Does anybody know the name of God? What is the name of God? Who said that? Jeremy, you're right. I am. In the Bible, when Moses was going, oh, I don't want to go over there and, release those people, who am I? And then he says, who am I? Then he said, well, I'll have your brother, to talk for you. Well then, who shall I say sent me? And God said in the burning bush, I am that I am. I am that I am. So he was always talking to me about I am, and he really did this. This is really his. So I went inside and I put some I ams in there, because I am statements are positive statements of affirmations. And one thing I said, I am whole and healthy. I am at peace. I am prosperous. Just for a few of them. It's all filled out though. So I am is very important. He was of Eckankar, like I said, and he was always saying, hey Mary, listen to the shell. You can hear Hugh singing the love song to God. And this is his shell. I'm just so thankful for that too. So thankful. So when he was getting ready to pass, I took the meditation out to his house. And Marion was with his wife in the other room then after the meditation. And I looked at him and I said, oh, wise one, please give me some information on spirituality. And I thought he was going to say, I am, or you, or there's worlds on top of worlds and levels. And he tried to get it out because he was very ill by that time. And he goes, to thine own self be true. And that just floored me. I thought, what? To thine own self be true? What's he talking about? I'm being true to myself, I think. And I went home later and I was looking it up, and I think it comes from Shakespeare in a play. And I go, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. What does he mean? To thine own self be true. And I think that what it meant was that I'm always trying to fit in. I'm always trying to fit in wherever I go, so that I'm accepted and loved by everyone. And so it took me a long time to realize that. A long time to realize that. So if you're not being true to yourself and who you are, who you really, really are on a deep level, then, wow, this can be blocked. a little pudgy there, so I think it's definitely blonde. Ooh, I'm working on it. Let's say it's work in progress. Everything is work in progress for all of us. And then we go to the heart chakra again. And I'm just so happy. I can't wait to get that heart monitor so I can be in coherence, because if you're upset, then you're going to be out of coherence. If you're in your old story and ruminating on it, you're going to be out of coherence. I pretty well know that. So then we go on up to the 5th chakra. And this is your voice, your communication device. And I think for a long time, especially as I went through some trauma that I don't want to go into my old story about, I really lost my voice. And I was saying to Reverend Dale and to Dave the other night, I've really lost my voice. I don't have my singing voice, but they were encouraging me to sing anyway. They said, oh, that sounds real good. That sounds real good. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm finding my voice. I'm finding my voice by getting up here. I'm finding my voice by getting up here and really speaking my truth anyway. It doesn't have to be your truth, you know, but it is my truth. And I just hope to give information. That's the thing. And finally, we go up here to the 6th chakra, and this is the 3rd eye. And you can think about the God code, And the Jewish people, they have that little, whatever that's called. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like a little thing.
Phylactery.
What is it?
Phylactery.
That sounds good. I'll believe it, Jeremy. And it's there and there. And I learned from Rabbi Tirsa Firestone that this was usually just worn by men, but now women are beginning to wear it. And it's because there is this chakra right there, your 3rd eye. If you were in Hinduism, that's your 3rd eye. And back here at the back, this is your thalamus. And so there's strings hanging down from there. So this is very important. This is a higher level of consciousness. And finally, you go to the upper one, the 7th chakra, and there you have the highest level. And that is when you're really in nirvana, I guess you might say. I'm not sure, but maybe the Buddhists would call it that. Or you're in heaven, or you're one with God. And that's our chakras a little bit. Well, just to let you know. So, there is that connection between your body and then the different chakras too. So, wow. So anyway, as I did my chakra meditation, I began getting rid of that. I just want to send that back. I want to get it out of my body and everything. So it happened, and I'm a work in progress. I'm going to just let it go. And I thought there's one more thing I want to do that I want to demonstrate to you, that I thought, well, I'm going to make this something visual that I can see that this is really what happened. This is some dirt, and I'm going to say that these 40 days of letting go, I'm letting go of anger. I'm letting go of anger. I'll meditate on it. And then also, I've got these seeds of love in here. These seeds of love. The marigold seeds. I'm going to take these as I meditate on this whole process. I'm going to be putting a love seed in there to grow. And then hopefully, when we have our party in June, and hope you all can come to the party, our final closing of the year, that you'll be able to see the marigolds growing and say, hey, Mary, how did that all go for you? Did that work? Did that really work for you? And I think so. I think it will work. And at least you can see the flowers growing. And what I ultimately came up with was a story that I'd like in closing, because we've covered a lot of material, is called Taking Back My Day. Taking Back My Day. And this is a posse concert that Mary and I went to. It was our last posse concert back in 2014, before we moved here finally to Maine. And so the story goes that Jan and JD, and Richard Medici and his wife wrote this song. And his wife, Richard's wife, got a nasty email, got some spit thrown at her, a nasty, nasty email from somebody. And it was at breakfast time, and she was just so like bummed out and just like awful. And her husband, Richard, said, honey, you just have to take back your day. So they wrote this song, all four of them together, and here we are now, taking back our day.
It's a beautiful start to a brand new morning. Then out of the blue, without warning, I let a little thing like a gnat in my teeth steal away my sanity. In the midst of it all, when I stumble and fall, I know I'm gonna be okay. I start to feel the beat, I get back on my feet, and I dance away, taking back my day, taking back my day. Standing in my shoes, I know what to do, taking back my day. Just a slight adjustment, it's really all it takes. See the great big picture, instead of all the mistakes. Oh, I just smile at the things on my list. Can't stay inside on a day like this. In the midst of it all, when I stumble and fall, I know I'm gonna be okay. I start to feel the beat, I get back on my feet, and I dance away, taking back my day, taking back my day. Standing in my shoes, I got the right moves, taking back my day. There's a blue sky over my head, I got a spring in my step. You can bet the best is just a breath away, taking back my day, taking back my day. Dancing in my shoes, I got the right moves, taking back my day.
Well, I pray that you have followed along and are willing to give up old stories yourself and sending energy back to people and taking back your day too and raising that higher consciousness that we're all here for. We have to do it to make peace in the world. So we put out the chalice right now, but we know that the light of love is still burning in each of your hearts, and we go forward in taking back our day.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in today. If you'd like to show your support, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and help us out by sharing this message by clicking the share button. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to you, Church Holton, there is a link to our online donations in the video description down below. And again, thank you so much and have a blessed day.